Harv's Island from the outside seems like a place to go when you need to get something customized or hope that Red has some new piece of art for you to grab. While this is the basics of it, there's a few hidden agendas of the vendors on the island. What's the best way to utilize these special characters? What secrets do they hold? And how can you convince Red to stock some real art for once? Once you've achieved a 3-star island, experienced KK Slider's performance for the first time, and have already talked to Harv to unlock Photopia, the plaza at Harv's Island will open. When you arrive, you'll be met with a bunch of baby Lloyds to drop a ton of bells on. Each co-op costs 100,000 bells. Like bridges and inclines on your own island, your villagers will contribute a very small amount of money to each gyroid, but the bulk of the funding has to come from you, as per usual, because you're literally the only one who does anything around here. 1 Lloyd can be paid off per day. Every time you open a vendor, Harriet will have a new, interesting hairstyle for you. Is interesting the right word? Some of these are really nice, but some of them, well. The 4 vendors who physically have inventory to sell will restock their items every Monday at 5 a.m. If nothing is tickling your fancy, just wait a week. Something cool may pop up. Red is the exception to this rule. He might seem a little slippery, but there is a way to try to convince him to display something real for once. But before we get into him, Mr. Leaf here has his own secrets. He follows the Monday restock rule for most of his items. He'll always carry in-season bush starts and non-native flowers, but the restocked items are the out-of-season bushes and the 2 different types of crop starts. Besides Captain Islands, this is the only place to get the fresh vegetables for your cooking needs. Speaking of fresh ingredients, thanks to this video's sponsor, HelloFresh. Drew and I have been getting HelloFresh delivered for about 2 years now, and we can't get enough. They offer a bunch of recipes to choose from each week, so you don't have to bother with meal planning. With HelloFresh, produce gets from the farm to your doorstep in under a week for peak freshness. And I don't have to leave my apartment. It just shows up at my door, like some magical, delicious fairy granting my food wishes. HelloFresh keeps me eating better and lets me regain control over my food choices. I can stay on track with simple, delicious recipes as well as lower calorie, fit, and wholesome recipes that allow me to indulge without having to worry about working off the meal later. The pre-portioned ingredients save you money, and it makes it so you don't have to purchase that huge bottle of seasoning that you use for that one recipe that one time and then have it stare at you until the end of time and you end up throwing it away months later. Not only are you saving money, but you're also saving the environment by wasting less food. Use my link in the description or go to HelloFresh.com and use code POGKORAMORA16 for up to 16 free meals, plus 3 surprise gifts across 6 HelloFresh boxes, plus free shipping. Gifts include free appetizers, free desserts, and free premium recipes. Now back to the vegetable king himself. You'll want to buy these fresh crops from Leaf for 3 days. Once you do, check the mail for a lovely surprise. You'll get a DIY recipe for a veggie basket. Oh, I love this thing. It adds a nice splash of coziness to any build, and reminds you to eat your vegetables, which we all need help with. If Leaf isn't carrying the crops you need, you have to wait until the following week to hope he stocks something different. If it wasn't for friends sending me vegetables, it would have taken me about 5 weeks to get tomatoes. This dude just hates tomatoes, which I totally understand, not a fan either, but really? We have a new feature and you're just gonna hold out on me? Now over to Red. This guy still loves to hold fake art, but there's a trick to increase the chances of real art appearing. Red's inventory is a bit different than the others because when you buy something from him, the next day he replaces the piece you bought with a different item. According to Asteriation, there's a 20% chance real art will appear in a shop each day, and it increases by 5% every time you purchase a fake piece of art. If Red stocks some real art and it happens to be the art you already have, then ignore it and buy the fake piece. If they're both real, then lucky you. Flex a little more, why don't you? Don't bother purchasing the fake art on Sunday since his inventory completely refreshes Monday morning. If you were super unfortunate to go the entire week without anything real appearing, there's a 100% chance that one of the pieces will be real on Monday and a 30% chance that the other piece will also be real. It's the game's way of profusely apologizing for your bad RNG. Art that only has genuine variants cannot appear at the beginning of the week. The game only pulls from pieces that have both real and fake versions on Monday morning. So if you still need something that can only appear genuine, you have to purchase art from Red during the week with the hopes that it appears one day, or continue to wait for his boat to show up on your secret beach back on your main island. Red's probably the most complicated, of course. Typical Red. Can't be easy and just have real stuff like the rest of his cohorts. He could go through life, make it easy for everyone and himself, but no, he's gotta be rude. Though he does have cool stuff, especially his raffle items. Totally worth wasting bells on doubles to get some of these interactive goodies. Though Kix does have some cool bags to carry around, so Red thankfully doesn't have a monopoly on cute. Sahara is one I look forward to purchasing from. The new 2.0 walls, floors, and rugs are beyond amazing. Definitely worth checking out while you're overpaying for art. I don't know if you've seen what people have done with the glow-in-the-dark stickers and outside wallpapers, but man, oh man, do I need to redo my house. For a few weeks in the fall, Tortimer here turns into Koramora. I mean, he gets replaced by Koramora, because there's no way that Koramora is just Tortimer in an acorn mask. Why? Why would that be the case? Clearly, they're different tortoises. Tortoises? Talking to Koramora will give you an undisclosed number of acorns. Sometimes it's 1, sometimes it's 3, sometimes it's 10. It's however the acorn man is feeling that day. Cyrus is probably the most useful to have. I go to him the most, especially when redecorating. I don't know why I don't just collect all the furniture items I need to make one trip and get them all customized at the same time, but I don't, and I'm pretty sure I'm not alone. I think most of us end up making 10 trips to Harv's just to get a different colored chip bag that matches our theme. It's important, you know? As for Katrina, there's a lot to her, and I have a whole other video for that. Harvest was a lot more useful than I thought. I'm glad the items get refreshed weekly. It's frequent enough that I enjoy the change, but doesn't 100% require me to go every single day if I don't want to. Sure, vendors like Red kind of force you to make an appearance to get the most out of them, but you're not missing out if you decide to skip a day. I'm glad that a form of city or main street has returned, and we aren't only reliant on special characters showing up at our islands. I'm sad New Horizons is done with updates, but I'm very happy with what it's turned into. What's your favorite part of Harv's? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you next time. Bye!